Good evening everyone and welcome to this Invictus Racing League, the F3 League. I am your host with the most milk. This is the rerun, and I'll say this again, this is the rerun of the F3 League from last week. If you don't know why we're doing the rerun, because this is supposed to be the week for our breaks. Unfortunately, because of the safety car getting stuck in the pits, near the end of the race, there was so many penalties galore near the end, and the admins and the race directors have decided to rerun the whole race from the qualifying all the way to the end of the race. Unfortunately, because like I said, Colorman, which looks like Colorman will be the one to start off with first, so I'll watch him now. Unfortunately, with Colorman, he was doing an absolutely brilliant race. Absolutely brilliant race, and he poled, and he made a massive gap between himself and Snoop Dogg, who's in the pits at the minute. But like I said, Colorman will be absolutely gutted, but at the same time it's kind of understandable that the people who've had issues with the penalty situation, so for tonight, and I don't know if it's going to carry on for the rest of the season, we'll have to find out by next week what the news is, but tonight there will be no safety car. There will be no safety car for the race tonight, and I'm not sure if it's going to carry on for the rest of the season, if it's going to be turned off to stop this from happening again. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But we're back at the glorious race of Silverstone track. Now, the reason why I said, the race, the weather crew have said it's going to be, as you can see, it's dry already, but it's always going to be a dry race as well. So this is going to be a race to the death or race to the end for these guys. So watching Silverstone now, coming up to the first corner now. Try to get the right track here, coming up to the first corner now. Then coming to the second, then coming up. Oh! There was a safety car. There was a safety car in front. So because we had no safety car, the safety car now decides to come out. This is... I don't know if he's got damage front wing. No? So on my screen, I just saw the safety car, like a glimpse there, even though it was switched off. Absolutely madness here, absolutely madness. Like I said, Coleman is coming up to Copses, or I always call it Corpse's corner. He's gone a little bit wide there, so he has to bounce back here as quickly as possible. Going through Maggots and then coming up to Beckett's now. If I remember the times now, I think it's 26 or 27. 1:26 was the fastest, or 27s last time I checked. But if you can match what he did last week, there'll be no problem from him, because he's driven a magnificent race, as I said last week. But at the same time, he was gutted. But he's teasing us. He's absolutely teasing us. Anyone close? Anyone close? F1 Richard. F1 Richard will be the one that will be doing his actual lapping now. So what can he do with his time? Probably get to 28s. 28.2. The starting line, well, the starting of the qualifying lap as we speak. The two McLaren boys, 1:28.2. Unfortunately, guys. Unfortunately, on my screen, the safety car is on the track. I don't think the guys can see it, but on my screen, the safety car, when it should have got out last week, it's got into the track this week, even though it's switched off. Oh, brilliant! With a 1:28 flat, it's Agent Steel. Clearly click with a 66. Brilliant stuff. Oh, Steve has done a 1:31.7 on the hard tyre. Tedroir, aka Tom, the old god, on there. In the Williams car, he's done a 28.6, so he needs to try and bounce back as quickly as possible here. Still seeing that safety car on track. Oh, who's that? That was one of the Toro Rossos. I think that was D-Boy Dan. Yes, that was D-Boy Dan. Yellow flag set to 1. Yellow flag set to 1. Notorious is done a 29.5, but that was invalidated. Let's see what Notorious can do. You know, he's going to do his actual build-up of his lap. What can Snoop Dogg, Marky can do on the... He's in 10th at the minute. Yellow flag sector 2. Yellow flags on sector 2 now. Coming to Maggots and then Beckett's now. Unfortunately, I can't tell what's happened with the driver standings from what I remember last week. Because our tables on the league side of just not loading up at the minute. So I have to find out from Mike after the race what's happened here. But if I remembered it right, I knew the Williams and the McLaren boys were having a ding-dong battle here, but let's just see what can Snoop Dogg can do on the last few corners. Now he's on a 29, but that was invalidated. He would have been 2 seconds quicker on his best time, so he's going to have to build it up another one here. Oh, Stephen, what can he do on? He's done us 131.5, but he needs to try and improve as quickly as possible here. So Stephen coming up to after the first sector time now. He's about a tenth or two quicker, or 1.5. Coming up to Lovefield, well, passing Lovefield, then coming to Woodcut corner now. Then now coming up to the Copses or Corpses corner, as I always call them every time. I've seen a few times here on the track here. They go a little bit wide here on this track. I don't know why. It's just like the momentum. They can do it easily here, but Maggots and Beckett's, if you don't get it spot on, you lose like so much time around there. So he's 6/10 quicker. So he'll get into the 130.5, 130s. The rate he's going at the minute, as long as he can keep it silky smooth on that one. D-Boy Dan did a 128 flat, 200s slower than Steele. But what can O'Stephen do? He's done a 31.2. He's quick. He improved his lap, but he's lost so much time on the third sector. Snoop Dogg has done. He did a 28.2. This is going to be absolutely close here. Where's Collarman? Collarman did the absolute beast of a time to get the pole time last week. Will he get 2 seconds quicker than Steele's time? He's done a 28 flat at the minute, Steele, but we'll have to wait and see if anything could happen here. But Collarman's trying to do his beast of a lap here, but coming up to the last few corners now, passing Club Corner now. This could be a good time. This could be a good time. 27 flat, 1 second quicker than Agent Steele. What a lap! Brilliant stuff. Absolutely belt overlap from the Villa man, the Coladore man. Brilliant stuff. Can anyone match Collarman? And he was saying before the race started that he was absolutely nervous, even though he poled and win the race. Absolute madness. I don't think he'll be worried about that. Do you? After that, no way. Brennan's, Captain Stiff, Mike and Notorious have all had no time so far. I'm trying to think who else is quicker. Froststone, I'm going to watch his lap now because the Blue Nose Dan trying to do everything he could on this lap itself. With just under 9 minutes left of the qualifying of the Invictus Racing League F3 League tonight. This is the Race 6 rerun. Because of what happened last week, there'll be no, again, I will say this again, and I will say this before the race, there will be no safety car tonight. There'll be no safety car, but also, I want to say this now before, I will say it again. There'll be no interviews tonight because I'm going to shoot off straight after the race, so there'll be no interviews like I normally do. Just go straight to finish the race and then zoot off. That's it. What can Frostan do on this lap? Going to pass a few corners here now. Passing Maggots then. Beckett's now. Needs to get into the 104s to stand any chance. He's in the 104s. He's in the 104s. So this could be a belt overlap. This could be the one. As long as he can keep it smooth. We're passing Stowe corner now. He needs to get everything spot on here. Coming up to The last few corners now passing, which would be the club corner. Fancy a club biscuit on that one, but oh, he's made a little bit of mistake going wide there. He's lost 2/10 on the last sector. He was quicker, I believe. He would have been quicker. Where's Captain Stiff? Captain Stiff's not doing his lapping yet. Agent Steele, can he try? Oh, F1 Richard! Oh, I can't believe that. I'm getting a little bit of delays here. Agent Steele trying to do everything he can. He's in 28, 1 minute 28. This will be a good time. Oh, what a lap! What a belt of a lap from Steele. Where's this time come from him? Brilliant stuff. Could he be the next challenger? But I'm waiting for Snoop Dogg to try and close in on Coleman, because these two, they should have a ding-dong battle here. But madness. Mike's to the 29.5, but he's going to try and do another lap in on the hard tyre. Brenner's did a 139.1, but he will definitely do another lap in on that one. Mike's going up to now, he's doing a 28.8 on the hard tyres, so that's a cracking time on the hard tyres, to be fair. Considering what everyone else was doing. Oh, brilliant stuff from F1 Richard, moving back up to second by a tenth. But where can they get the time to get closer, at least closer to the Villa man, which is the Coloratore man? Madness, absolutely madness. Brennan's is 8 seconds quicker. So this could be, depending on what sector time he did on sector 1, this could be a belt of a lap. This could be in the 29s or maybe 28s. 28s. 28.1. He's moved up to 6, so that's a good qualifying lap for him, to be fair. Like I said, 1.1 seconds behind Coleman, but he can try and at least be confident that the soft tyres would. Those are the tyres that I was expected between the 27s and the 28s. Mediums, if you can get where Captain Stiff is doing on the 28.3, that was a cracking time. Is anyone doing their lapping now? F1 Richard's doing another lapping, which I believe, unless he's going back in. He's 6/10 off the top at the minute, but he needs to try and get something somewhere here. But oh, he's teasing us. The old man is teasing us. Absolutely insane stuff here. Coleman is thinking that he's not safe with that 127 flat. He wants to try and beat what happened last week on his personal best of the qualifying time. But this is absolutely insane stuff. We've got 5 minutes, under 5 minutes left of the qualifying of the Invictus Racing League F3 League. This is the belter lap now. This is the one where he needs to get his spot on here. Passing the first corner, which is Abbey. Then coming up to Farm corner now. Then coming up to Village corner now. This is the part where the loop corner now. Needs to get his spot on here. Needs to get a good running out turn 5 now. Then coming up to the long DRS straight now. And then coming up to, which is turn 6, which is Brooklands corner. Bricklands. Then coming up to Lovefield corner now. Then after this corner from turn 7, we have a little bit of the running, and then coming up to Woodcote corner now. Frosty moves up to second with a 127.5, so that's a cracking time from him. Passing Corpses corner. Coleman tried to do everything he can. Then he needs to come up to, which is the Maggots, and then the Beckett's corner. I'm passing 11, then 12, and then 13, the unlucky one. And then coming up to Chapel, which is turn 14 now. Then the long DRS straight now with the hanger straight now. Then coming up to, which is the Stowe corner, which I think Tom, aka Tedra, is going to part of that corner of the actual real life Silverstone track of the Grand Prix this year. So hopefully I'll see him there. Coming to passing Club corner now. Here we go. What can Coleman do? This could be a belt of a time. Oh, brilliant stuff. A 26.68 tenths. Snoop Dogg has moved up to second with a 27.4. Belter of a lap. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, Where's these times coming from? Tedra, aka the old guard here. If you're wondering where's the other drivers, they are all unavailable this week. This should have been the week of the what is it now? This should be the week of the break as well. But unfortunately, because of what happened last week in the race itself, I have to wait and see what happens here now. But what can Tedrod do? I will look at your comments in a minute, mate, whoever that is. Tedrod coming through, passing club corner now, coming to passing. This could be a good time here. 27.8, 27.8. 4 tenths off second place, but that is still a good time to be fair. Very, very good time to be fair. Just trying to see. Just trying to see what happens here. Coleman and Snoop Dogg will be in the pits. Oh, Stephen, we're under 2 minutes left. We're under 2 minutes left of the right. Steele has retired. Coleman's retired. So this is going to be a whoever. So Coleman's confident that he's with his 26.8, he will finish top. I think Snoop Dogg would have to pit as well, would have to retire as well because he will not have any more time on this. So 1 minute 19 left of this. So coming up to 1 minute 10 now. So what can Stephen do on his corner? If you commented, guys, can you just send another comment again? Because I didn't see that. Sorry. Coming up to 1 minute left. We're coming up to the 1 minute marker now of this Invictus Racing League F3 League, the rerun of race 6 of Silverstone. And here we go. You know what's coming, guys. You know what's coming with the stuff anyway, because this is a timer countdown. And you never know what's going to happen with Ferocious Dan or F1 Richard might pit into the top half. But here we go, guys. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. Now. Time is up. The time is up. The fans have stopped at the Crystal Maze as always. But the qualifying ain't over till the fat lady sings on that one. But unfortunately, it did actually finish with the qualifying. Ferocious Dan will not improve his time because he's on ERS 2. Should be on ERS 5 if he's going to try and do it. But F1 Richard might have an opportunity here to try and get 2 tenths quicker of Snoop Dogg's second place. If anyone could beat Coleman in first place, they're an absolute legends, or legends as what we always call them now. Michael's retired from the session. Yellow flag set to 3. What can F1 Richard do? He's improved his time, but not enough. He's actually 3 thousandths of a second behind his teammate, Ferocious Dan. Oh, madness. Absolutely madness. Brilliant stuff. Oh, brilliant stuff here. What can Ferocious Dan do? Coming up to the last few corners. Oh! He's moved on to second. What a move. Oh, no, it's not an overtake move. I don't know why I said that. But he's moved up. He's moved up to second place. Where's O'Stephen? O'Stephen moves up to 10th place. On the medium tire, so that's a good time from him, to be fair. He needs that boost of the points here this season. Good evening to BWD Racing. Oh, Partridge 99, how you doing, mate? You alright? Here are your short qualifying for the British Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League F3 League, the rerun of race 6. You got Coleman in first, Ferocious Dan in second, Snoop Dogg Marky in third. F1 Richard in 4th, Steele in 5th, Brennons is in 6th, Terge is in 7th, D-Boy Dan in 8th, Captain Stiff is in 9th, O Stevens in 10th, Mike is in 11th, and Notorious is in 12th place. Snoop Dogg Mark is not absolutely happy with that lap, I don't think, by the sounds of it. Oh yeah, no worries, Partridge. It's all right. Ooh, and I've been told it was a dry race, but there's a little bit of clouds there. Are we going to get a cheeky little bit of rain? I doubt that very much. Maybe a cheeky rain on that one. We'll have to wait and see. What do you think, guys? What do you reckon it's going to be? Do you reckon there'll be a shock tonight? Do you think there'll be some? Do you think Coleman would still get the fastest lap and the win? Do you think Snoop Dogg? Do you think Ferocious Dan might challenge Coleman? We'll have to wait and see what happens here. Partridge says, would have loved a wet race just to annoy Coleman. If Coleman heard this now, he'll be absolutely fuming now. He says, Partridge says, nah, Colo's going to walk it. Ooh, okay. What do you reckon, second and third then, Partridge? Who do you reckon will get second and third? So Partridge is going to say, or Alan Partridge, I always call him now. So you reckon Coleman will do what he did last week, win the race as well. So just waiting for the guys to get themselves prepped up and ready to go. I will say this again. Unfortunately, I will not be doing the interviews after the race. I will have to go straight after this race. But we'll be back to normal, hopefully, by next week anyway. So, but I think the guys will all set themselves prepped up and ready to go. I think someone else started, before Captain Stiff and Mike, I think. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Alan Partridge has said, I'm going to go F1 Richard and Tedrow for the podium, as well as Coleman. That's quite an interesting shout, to be fair. That's a good shout, to be fair. But anything could happen here. I will remind everyone again, there is no safety car tonight. Because of what happened last week, there is no safety car in this race. And we don't want it to happen again. Unfortunately, I did saw the safety car during the qualifying, even though it's switched off. So, hopefully it doesn't pop up or pop out of nowhere here. What I always do, normally I always check the bottom half. Oh God, Coleman wants to go back into the other pits by the looks of it. So what I normally do is always check the bottom half first of their tyre wear situations. And Mike and Notorious have gone for the medium tyre, so that's a good shout, to be fair. I would avoid the hard tyre as much as possible. And that's me being honest. This is definitely a one-stop race, as long as you can keep it consistent and not getting hit, because this is one of the worst pit entries, exits of this longest. That's why I always say it's the worst one, because it's about 30 seconds, 30 to 32 seconds. That's the longest pit stop ever of an in the F1 calendar. So they've got to manage it, and they've got to get it spot on this track. They really have got to get it spot on here. If they don't, then there's something wrong here. But Coleman really wants to start this race here, and they're all going to be on the racing grid in a minute here. But I'm sure the guys will be reminded about, remind them about the turn one. There was no safety car. As I said about the fourth time, there will be no safety car for the fifth time. So they'll be reminded again not to bombard on the first few corners, because this is a long race as well. 26 laps of the Silverstone track. And we're about to get off and ready to go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights, and we are go, go, go! Oh, great start by for F1 Richard. Oh, the Toro Rosso. The Toro Rosso has Oh my God! Captain Stiff has lost the corner there as well. There was a bit of... I think they went... I'm not sure what happened with D-Boy Dan's situation, but I think Captain Stiff had to avoid action there, and because of that he went onto the grass and he lost his car a little bit, so he would have to go back into the pits as quickly as possible here if he's had any wing damage here. But this is going to be an absolutely manic start here. Manic start, but Steele! Steele's got a chance here to try and close in on Brennan's for 6th place. Oh my God! Oh Stephen! Oh Stephen! It looked like he was really close on Steele. Clear to click with a 66 on this, but I want to try and watch Snoop Dogg in a minute to try and chase on F1 Richard, but I'd like to see what Steele can do. He's got a good running out of Beckett's corner, then come up to Chapel now, then come up to the Hanger Straight now. But, oh, Stephen might have a good chance here. Snoop Dogg, sounded like a horse racing commentator now. And here's Steele trying to come through the 6th place, and then come up to Brennan's trying to hold on. Try and do everything he can on this, but Alpha Man's got the fastest lap of the race, of the start, of a 1:33.6. Notorious has pitted as well. We've got quite a few comments. Good evening to Nick LJ Thompson. How you doing, mate? You alright? Just in time. Looks a bit grim. It's the rain forecast. Unfortunately, there's no rain tonight, so that's good news for the drivers here down watching. But yeah, it's going to be a dry race. I was going to tease by saying, well, I was going to have a cheeky rain at the end or something, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen next. But PW Racer said this, meant to be dry, mate. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here on this. But Snoop Dogg, we've got a little bit of a train going on behind F1 Richard here. Ferocious stands but 2.3 seconds behind Coleman. So his chance of trying to close in on Coleman of Ferocious Dan is trying to get it as quickly as possible. But like I said, Snoop Dogg's trying to close in, but look at the other Sauber of Steele trying to close in on Brennan's now. But this could be a good battle here. We've got quite a few battles. You just see in the background there. Look at the Steele. What a move! What a move! Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. But Brennan's wants a bounce back ability here. Oh, brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Coleman's to the fastest lap of a 1:31.2. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant move from Agent Steele. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. I am so sorry with the high voice pitch, but it's just absolutely insane stuff here. Brilliant stuff. We've got a couple of battles going on here. We've got F1 Richard, Snoop and Tej on the one lot of battle. You've got Steele and Brennan, so just behind this group here that I'm watching. And also you got Mike closing in on Stephen for 8th place, respectively. Let's see what happens here. Can you believe it? I can't. It's like I can't believe it's not butter. But can you? Brilliant stuff. Oh, that is absolutely brilliant stuff here. Oh, this is the Invictus Racing League F3 League. There is normally quite a few drivers in tonight, but unfortunately because of they can't make it tonight. This is meant to be the week break of the Invictus Racing Leagues, but because of what happened last week, this is the rerun race tonight. So can Mike try to close in on Stephen, try to go on the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact by the looks of it there. No debris. So Silly Bang are happy with Mike and Stephen at the moment. The civilian legend of Mike, I always call him now, try to close in on Stephen. Just have to wait and see what happens here now. Snoop Dogg's going to try and close in on F1 Richard. F1 Richard's trying to close in on Ferocious Dan. Ferocious Dan's a little bit behind. I say, last time I checked on it was about 2.3. Now it's 3.4 behind Coleman. So this is when he said, "Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm nervous for this race, Coleman." Nah, look at him. He's pulling away. As long as he doesn't make a mistake. I'm not doing it on purpose as the commentators curse, but Mike moves up, but Stephen bounces back into 8th place. Mike outbroke himself, but this could be a good run in here. This could be a massive run in here. Try to close in on Stephen for 8th place. Here we go. Oh, I thought Stephen and Mike was going to do what Alonso and Vettel did like all those years ago, side by side through Copse's corner. Snoop Dogg coming side by side with F1 Richard, one of the McLaren boys. Oh, a little bit of contact there, but hopefully that doesn't compromise too much. Oh, what a move! What a move from Snoop Dogg! Snoop Dogg Marky moves up. Snoop Dogg moves up to 3rd place in the podium stuff tonight. Absolutely insane stuff here. Can Snoop Dogg try to close in on Frostistan? Oh my god, I thought he was going to go side by side. He's going to go for the inside. Oh, contact! Silly Bang will not be happy with the McLaren driver. Went into the back of another. And because of that, they've lost a bit of debris here. So I think F1 Richard will lose a bit of time here now. But absolutely insane stuff here. But can Mike try closing on Stephen on the last bit? Oof. That was a bit of a close call there between Stephen and Mike. Stephen looks like he's really struggling, but he's trying everything he can to try and bounce back into this race. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. Frostistan? Oh no, what happened to him? Oh, Frostistan and Tej. Something must happen between Frostistan and Tej. Yeah, something must happen between the two drivers here. I'm not sure what happened here, but hopefully they'll bounce back quickly. But Mike's moved up to 6th now. Frostistan's disqualified from the session, parked in a dangerous location. Again, that will have to be reviewed after the race, but that's just madness here. But I was watching. I can't remember who it was. I was watching the chat thing. Oh, Reynolds moves up to 4th. Notorious has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple. Oh no! F1 Richard. This is going from bad. Oh my god. Oh, what's happened here? What has happened here? First it was Frostistan. There must be something between Frostistan and Tedrow, between them two drivers, because them two went off track at the same similarity point there. But I don't know what actually happened there. Mate, what's going on? I don't know anymore. I don't know what's going on, to be fair. Stephen's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. First, Frostistan and I think Frostistan and Tej had a little bit of contact between them two. F1 Richard had a little bit of contact to touch on Brennans, who made a good move. And because of that, I was trying to watch F1 Richard. I think D-Boy Dan went wide after turn 5 or turn 6. And he just lost it. Look, it was exactly the same point as what happened with the other drivers anyway. But good evening to Sir Spud. How you doing, mate? It's a nightly hood of Sir Spud. How you doing, mate? You're right. Nick LJ says, that's weird. We had some stupid DSQs in F2. Seems like it might be a glitchy track. Yeah, the home of the British Grand Prix has caused nothing but issues on some of the drivers from last week and from tonight as well. Sir Nightly Hood of Spud says, yeah, I'm good. It's like sounding like the Jim Carrey moment. It's good. From that Bruce Almighty stuff. But can Captain Stiff closing in on Stephen now. So Spud says, yeah, started in the wall last week. That was a bit madness. So it's a shame because this is one of the iconic tracks. Captain Stiff's gone a little bit wide there on lap 7 or 26 of the Invictus Racing League F3 League. Tedroy has retired from the session. So I'm not sure what's going on here. We had about 3 DNFs. We had about 3 DNFs, all in the space of a couple of laps here. Tej has left the session. I don't know if he went back into the pits and retired or what, I don't know, but Nick Elcher says, oh yeah, I remember that. So Spud says, but I do love this track. We'll have to wait and see what happens here, but we've had 12 started tonight, and now we've got 9 races tonight. We've got 9 races remaining. I'm not sure what happened between Tej and Frostad. We'll have to wait and explain what happened there if they're in the viewing in a minute on the comments box. But the only closest battles we've got O'Stephen and Captain Stiff. Captain Stiff moves up to 6th, but Notorious, he's got a 3-second time penalty though. F1 Richard trying to build his confidence back up to with the medium tyre now because he's already pitted. So he's going to I'm surprised he didn't go on the hard tyre to go all the way, because this is another 30 seconds he's going to have to add on if he's going back into the pits later on in the race. But Stephen coming up to, which I believe is the Maggots, and then the Beckett's corner soon. But yeah, this is quite interesting stuff. Snoop Dogg, Marky's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings here. Multiple warnings. What can Notorious can do on F1 Richard for 8th place. Great start for Colourman. Again, he's doing what he should. Like, he's carried on. He's proved that he can bounce back again from from what happened last week with the rerun of this. But so he's confident that he can win this race, and I think this will be his next win on the bounce, I think. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But still watching Notorious. Notorious has the DRS straight now on F1 Richard. F1 Richard needs to close in. Sorry, Notorious needs to close in on F1 Richard. But this is the only closest battle we have got. Mr. Spud says he's F2 pace. With the qualifying, there was only like 7/10 difference, but it just depends on if the guys are quicker on that favourite track that they're on. It just depends, really. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. Nick says Snoop Dogg Marky is catching him up though. Ferocious has left the session. Yeah, Snoop Dogg needs to try and... Have to wait and see what happens here. Colourman pits. Oh. Yeah, Colourman pits. Colourman's pitted. So he's going to have to go. He's on 9 laps of the soft tyre, so that's quite interesting stuff here. Bye-bye. I was to say good evening to everyone that's joining the session. Colourman, who's poled in the qualifying with a 26.6. Sorry, 1 minute 26.6. He's in the pits now on his, I believe it be his one and only pit stop. So he should come out ahead of F1 Richard. Yeah, ease on that one. Suspect says should have been lap 12. I'm not sure what you mean, mate. Oh, you mean the tyre wear? Yeah, you could do this way, or depending on how the situation with their tyre wears, could ease off. It just depends, really. Good evening to Tej. Tej is not happy with the race situation at all, so hopefully he'll let us know what happened in that part, because I didn't see it on the screen. I only saw Ferocious went off track, and then next to me I saw Tedros' car gone wide. into the side as well. Nick LJ Johnson says that's good for Mark. The overcut is strong here. Yeah, it is a bit strong. Snoop Dogg has pitted. So this will be interesting stuff. So Spud says he did 20 laps on the hards. Ted says that one of the Sauber cars went not to overtaking the McLarens properly and stuff. Okay, he says Dan went off. I was ahead into Beckett's. Okay, fair enough. Okay, because I saw your car, Tom. I didn't see what I thought you had a collision or contact between yourself and Verstappen. That's all I was asking what happened between, because I didn't see it on the stream at the time. That was all. Yeah. Okay. Again, that will need to be reviewed by the stewards. So if that is the case, they will need to be reviewed by the stewards in that situation here. But in this race so far, we've got quite a few drivers have all split out now. Tej is absolutely fuming. I don't blame him on that one, because this could have been a chance to see the old guard at least challenging for the top two at least, but we'll try and aim for the title this season. But I have to wait and see. If he can bounce back as well. Tom says season. I know this is race 6. I know it's halfway marker. There's still plenty of points, but it just depends on how everyone else does it, really. But Steele has pitted. Coleman's done the fastest lap of 1:30.6, so that's a good time from him as well. Tom says, try to keep clean. People can't control themselves. Yeah, like I said, I can't comment too much, because obviously there's the commentary stuff, but in my personal opinion, the drivers need to be looked at again as such if this keeps going like this, because we all want to see some fair racing, and that's what we do see in the Invictus racing leagues as well. Because of the safety car situation being switched off, it's kind of buggered Tom Verstappen as well, with the situations that they were in at the time. So just trying to see if there's any other action going on. Mike's Coleman's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings here, ladies and gentlemen. So what can Mike do? Can he try and hold on for first? He's going to have to watch out for Coleman. Obviously, Mike and Captain Steve and O'Stephen, they will all have to go into the pits for the soft tyres at the end of the race. So this will be a massive opportunity to try and get some decent points in tonight. We're on the halfway marker now. We're on the halfway marker of the F3 League, of the Invictus Racing League, the Race 6 rerun of Silverstone. So Spud says he didn't want that. Snoop Dogg Marcus got a 1:30.2 on the fastest lap. Like I say, he did not want that at all. But can Coleman try closing on Stephen? Stephen's on older medium tyres, whereas Coleman's on the fresher, more younger medium tyres, and he should take the overtake here. Oh no, Stephen! Two in bed! Brilliant move from Coleman. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Can Coleman try to chase now? This is the chase on to get on to Captain Steve and Mike. Like I said, Coleman would have to speed up now to try and get away from O'Stephen now. So this should be the chance now for when it's 8 seconds behind the leader, Coleman. I think it's 8 seconds. Yeah, 8 seconds. Based on 3 seconds from the two here, if it starts like this, O'Stephen would go ahead of F1 Richard, so he'll be back into 7th. Same with Captain Stiff, 43, no, sorry, 30, 33. Yeah, he'll go back in to 6th, and then possibly Mike into 5th, if it stays like this anyway. But yeah, the fastest lap so far of Snoop Dogg is a 1:30.2 so far. So there's not much overtaking action so far in this race, but hopefully when the guys who are pitted are going to come in, we might see some last minute ditches on this, as in last minute overtakes as well. But so as your views, guys, do you think Coleman would hold on? Well, he would definitely get ahead of Captain Stiff and Mike when they do pit. But do you reckon Coleman would hold on to first? Do you think Snoop Dogg might catch up to Coleman? He's 7 seconds. 7 seconds away. 7 seconds away on Coleman itself. But would Snoop Dogg try closing on would Snoop Dogg try closing on Coleman? Alan Partridge says it's always the way when you don't get a full grid, hardly ever have many wheel-to-wheel battles. Yeah, I mean, I think it was last week or the week before when we had 10, 12 drivers, and it was a cracking race. I think it was Austrian Grand Prix, I think it was. Both Mike and Captain Stiff have gone for the, which would be their one and only pit stop, which is the soft tyre. So that means it'd be interesting to see where they're going to finish. So Mike's gone out now, just trying to see what happens here. Look at that line there of the wheel of the tyre wear situation from O'Stephen. So O'Stephen would go back into 7th. Mike would go back into 5th. Captain Stiff should be back into 6th, depending on what happens here. So, this could be a nice entry here to try and close in. So, Captain Stiff, he's been the shock, to be fair, as in he's improved a hell of a lot this season. I expected him to get into the mid-tables this season, to be fair, but himself and Tej would have had a massive start of the constructors now. So hopefully they'll try and improve that next week which I'm not sure which track it is next week. I can't remember. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. But F1 Richard tried closing in on O'Stephen, who's just gone out of the pits for the soft tyre. But F1 Richard would need to pit again. Same with Notorious, they would need to pit again. I'm just going to see if Captain Stiff tries to catch up to Mike, the Slovenian legend, on that one. Well, lap 16 or 26. Lap 16 or 26. So this is absolutely immense stuff here. Captain Stiff, F1 Richard. Oh, I thought he was close to there. Captain Stiff trying to close in on Mike. Mike looks like he's really struggling with the soft tyres at the moment here. And Captain Stiff has got his tyres absolutely warmed up and roasting, as we say. Can Captain Stiff try to close in on Mike for the DRS straight now? This will be a good opportunity here. I'll tell you a good debate, actually. What do you think, like I said, if for the guys who are watching tonight, do you think there'll be, would you ever like to see Donington Park, or would you ever like to see Brands Hatch, like a European Grand Prix or something, bring back into the F1 calendar? Would you ever like to see that as well as Silverstone, or not? That's your discussion, guys. Let's see what you think of it anyway. Captain Stiff trying to close in on Mike again for 5th place. He's got a good chance here. Mike close in on Mike might. I can't say it now. Just seeing what Captain Stiff trying to close in on Mike now, but Mike might close in on Brennan, so I can't stop repeating that. It's just absolutely insane. Stop. Spud said no, just Silverstone. So you don't like Brands Hatch or Donington Park as like an alternative to Silverstone for like a European Grand Prix and stuff. But as you can see, Brennos is just passing the start finishing line now. Captain Stiff is on the fastest lap with 1:30.1. But can he go try to close on Mike? Try to be absolutely delicate there. So I have to wait and see what Captain Stiff can do. F1 Richard. Oh, nearly! He was a tenth behind. He might drop down to about 4 tenths. Oh my God! Oh, Stephen! This is a chance for F1 Richard to move in, and he does. Passing the loop now. Absolutely madness. But oh, Stephen might have a bounce back ability here. I'll try to close in on F1 Richard, who's on the older tyres of the medium tyre, but still watching Captain Stiff. Alan Partridge has said, I'd rather Zandvoort as a European Grand Prix than another UK track, to be fair. Okay, fair enough. That's a good track, to be fair. I can't remember if that was on Project Cars or... I can't remember. But I knew there was one of the tracks anyway. But I can't remember if it was on Project Cars 1 or 2. Or they were on both 1 and 2. But it's a good game, to be fair. But let's see what Mike can do. Can he try and close in on Brennan's for 4th? But he's going to have to watch out for the on charge of Captain Stiff, which could have an opportunity here to try and close in. This is passing Club Corner now. Again, earlier, I fancy a Club Biscuit now. Passing that corner all the time there. But can Captain Stiff try and close in on Mike for 5th? Passing Abbey, then Farm, then coming up to the village corner now. So Mike would have the DRS straight if he can try and get closer to Brennan's at the moment here. I don't know if he's just got enough. I think he might have got enough. Yeah, he's got enough, I think. Yeah, he's got enough, just. He's got enough of that one, just. So as you thought, guys, like, would you ever like to see more different tracks, like different European tracks? Or do you think 22 or 21 of the overall tracks is gonna... I have to wait and see. So Spud says, come on, Stiff! Come on! You can't do it if you B&Q it! That's not what he said. That's what I said. But just give you that momentum going. That oomph. Oomph, 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 oomph. Trying to close in on Brennan's here, Mike here. But Captain Stiff is going to be on fire here. He's got another run in here. He's got a chance. He's got a chance. He's got a chance. Mike's going defensive. Side by side. Two in the bed. No. One in the bed. Absolutely insane. So Spud said Mike will get on Brennan's. I don't know at the minute yet, because this is an absolute belter from Captain Stiff. Trying to close in on Mike. Mike's the defender. After waiting to see what happens here, but we've got two lots of battles going on. We've got Brennan's Mike and Captain Stiff as one, and F1 Richard and O'Stephen as the other battle. But can O'Stephen try to close in on F1 Richard for the start and finishing line straight? Passing Abbey, then the farm, and then the village corner now. Can Captain Stiff again? Another challenge. I'll try to close in on Mike for 5th again. Yeah, just have to wait and see what happens here. But like I said, what can Captain Stiff do? I do apologise if you hear any background noise or mute and stuff. Hopefully, like I said, we'll bounce back and stuff. But here we go. Mike has got the DRS. Both of them on 4 ERS now. Captain Stiff should have the advantage a little bit there, but he needs to try closing on Mike. Somehow he needs to try and do it. Oh, contact! There was a bit of contact there between himself and Mike. I don't think he's lost any debris, so Sillybank will be happy with him at this moment in time. But he has dropped down a bit of the pace now. From my screen, it looks like he hasn't had any debris. removed. So he looks like he's just backed off a bit and just try and bounce back as quickly as possible. But he needs to get quicker because he doesn't want to lose out the DRS straight. Oh no! Oh, Stephen! Oh, Stephen! What a recovery! What a recovery drive there from Stephen. He was just sliding away. Like, hee hee! Absolutely madness stuff. Like, chameau! But absolutely insane stuff here. What can Mike do? Mike to try closing on Brennan's again for yeah, Spud said, what a save! What a save! You sound like the Gordon Banks moment back in the 1970s of the World Cup. What a save! Brilliant stuff. I think Captain Stiff has got a little bit of a delivery. Alan Partridge says Tokyo Drift Star there. I think that, oh Stephen, if you're watching this, you are a legend for that recovery drive or recovery of that car. The way it was just like, it's just done it with Drift Star. That was just brilliant stuff here. But yeah, just like wait. This is just the only battle we've got at the moment here so far, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we'll see some more coming up soon in this race. We've got lap 21, 26 of the Invictus Racing League F3 League. Have to wait and see. Have to wait and see what happens here with Mike. Try closing on Brennan's for 4th at the moment here. But yeah, still, like I said, Mike's had some, if I remember it right, some good results recently, but he's just had a bad start again, and we need him to like bounce back as quickly as possible. But he's doing a brilliant drive at the minute. I know we're on lap 22, so we're on lap 22, 26. Oh! Mike's trying to close in, but Brennan's trying to defend there. Of all his might. Oh, Stephen's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. 2 in a bed. 2 in a bed. Oh, nearly at the club corner. Nearly at the club corner. Mike's really on pounce here. He really is on fire at the minute on this one. But lap 22, 26. 4 more laps left. 4 more laps left of the Invictus Racing League F3 League. The race 6 rerun on that one. I will say this again, ladies and gentlemen. Oh! I will say this again, ladies and gentlemen. What a move! What a move! Brilliant move from Mike! And he should have the DRS. Yes, he has. He's got the DRS, but where's Brennan's? Brennan's will have a chance to try closing on Mike for 4th. What a move! Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Brennan's needs to watch out for the charging of Captain Stiff now. He doesn't want to drop down too far back. Absolutely insane stuff here. But can Brennan's try to do everything he can? Brennan's, I was rooting for him last season after he had a magnificent start of this racing career at Invictus. But ever since he had that good start last season, he's gone like from the top and now back into the middle pack. I want him to bounce back into the top half as quickly as possible. And this will be a decent amount of points in for Brennan's to get back into it. So there's your thoughts, guys. Who do you think's your driver of the day tonight? For a change. Who do you think's going to win driver of the day? We've had, all of them had 1 stop except for Notorious, who's had 2 stops. Biggest mover, Mike, in 4th, from 11th to 4th. Yeah, from 11th to 4th. So the biggest mover is Mike so far, as long as he can keep hold on to it. So at the moment, it's pointing to Mike for my driver of the day. But what's your thoughts, guys? Who do you think's your driver of the day? So Spud says driver of the day is Mike. for himself. Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair dues. Fair dues. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Something different for a change on that one. But lap 23, 26. Look, so there's not been much action going on with the overtake stuff, but we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Alan Partridge says agreed with Mike being driver of the day so far. But don't get me wrong as well. Don't get me wrong. Steele's had an unlucky season, to be fair, as well. But he's in third, so he's had a good momentum with the podium stuff. So hopefully he'll bounce back, and he does bounce back if he can hold on for third. After that, hopefully he doesn't get that charge of Mike within the last 2 laps. It's very unlikely with 2 laps left, but anything could happen with Steele with the tyre wear situations here. F1 Rich has done 16 laps on the medium tyres at the moment here. I think this is what you see is what you're going to get for the next few laps here, but I have to wait and see what Brennan's can do. A little bit of a gap now between Brennan's and Mike now. But yeah, another reminder again, I will not be doing interviews after this race. I'll go shoot off straight after. I'll do my final thoughts and then I'll have to shoot off the race itself. So there'll be no interviews tonight. Because I've got to sort out a few stuff at home and stuff. So to see what Brennan's can do on 1.7 now. So Mike's on the faster tyre wear situation. He's pulling away from Brennan's left, right and centre. So yeah, I would agree with some of the guys here. Notorious has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He's my driver of the day. Yeah, I have to wait and see what happens here. But like I said, I have to wait and see what Mike can do. At the moment, he'll hold on for 4th. He's like the penalty king. Well, the unpenalty king, should I say, gracefully on that one. He never gets penalties. It's very rare as he gets like warnings and stuff. Very rare, but never had many penalties or anything like that. So he's done a brilliant job. His racing craft is, you know, we've had the penalty situations. He's been top notch, and he's just. I can't remember if any one of these guys have got penalties as well. I know Coleman has got a 3-second time penalty, so if Snoop Dogg can try and get within 3 seconds of himself and Coleman, it's 7 seconds at the minute. We're on the penultimate lap. We're on the penultimate lap of the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League itself. So what can closest battle we've got at the minute is O'Stephen. O'Stephen with that great recovery of that car to try and avoid hitting the bang of the wall there, but it's still, I don't know if that was his new racing line move there, but that was just a great Tokyo drift, as what some of the guys are saying on the comments stuff. But can O'Stephen try closing on F1 Richard? F1 Richard trying to do everything possible to hold on to 7th. We're on the final lap. We're on the final lap of the Silverstone Grand Prix. O'Stephen just clipped the grass. That might lose a little bit of time here. I don't know if that might be the downfall of that one. Just seeing where Coleman is. Coleman is passing Ludfield, and is coming to Woodcut now. So I will try and catch him before he finishes his. Stephen's tyres must be absolutely sliding. As you can see, look at the line of the tyre wear on this left-hand side. It's absolutely killing on that one. So he's got to be absolutely delicate here. As you can see, he's struggling to try and control that car. Madness, absolutely madness. Coleman is absolutely celebrating already. He's absolutely celebrating already through the straight here, unless he's trying to warm up his tyres. He's still trying to celebrate. But he's got to be careful here because he doesn't want to do too much here because of the tyre. I know it's 6.4 seconds already, but you have to wait and see what happens here. And congratulations to Collar man, the Villa man, the Collar Touring man, has finished, and he's finished with ease on that one. So well done to him. Brilliant drive from Collar man in first. Snoop Dogg Market in second place. Steele on a fantastic drive for third place. So he will guarantee third at the moment. So brilliant stuff from Steele. Mike, brilliant drive. My drive of the day, Mike. Bye. So my drive of the day is Mike on the race itself tonight. Captain Stiff in 5th, Brent Owens is in 6th, Efron Richard and O Stephen will finish in 7th and 8th, and we're just going to wait for Notorious to finish off the race itself. But that's a great drive from Coleman, Snoop Dogg and Steele with that. It's a brilliant drive from them guys, to be fair. And just seeing where Notorious passing Chapel now. But yeah, just coming up to the Hanger Straight now. Then coming up to the Stowe corner now. So Notorious, the former F2 champion of many seasons ago. He hasn't had that form. I'm really, like I said, I'm not one of those people who like criticises too much, but I just hope, you know, I just hope Notorious would bounce back and try and get some decent points in throughout the rest of the season. But I know he will anyway. Well done to Collar Man, well done to Snoop Dogg and to Steele. The two Salbers in the top 3, so brilliant stuff from these guys, brilliant stuff. So the top podium stuff. And Collar Man, which he should have won last week if the safety car didn't happen, but he's guaranteed that win now, confirmed with the win, and like I said, brilliant stuff from him. So let's hope he can try and carry on with that momentum. I think that's his second win or third win on the bounce now, unless I'm mistaken, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Here are your race classification for the British Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League F3 League. You got Collarman in first, Snoop Dogg in second, Steele in third, Mike in fourth, Captain Steve fifth, Brent Owens in sixth, F1 in seventh, O Stephen in eighth, Notorious in ninth, Tej, D-Boy Dan and Ferocious Stan have all had DNFs. And I'll just do all the stewarding stuff so that in case the stewards need to check the penalty situations on that one anyway. So Snoop Dogg says trading lap times with Carlo at the end. Yeah, I just saw that. That was some immense stuff between yourself, Snoop Dogg, and Collar Man. So immense battles here, but brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff. But I'll have to wait and see how it goes on that one. But I'll do my final thoughts and I'll call it a wrap. I won't be doing the comments, the interviews tonight. I'm just going to do a quick overview of the race. The rerun of race 6 of the Silverstone track. It was a great drive from Collarman after what happened last week, and he made a brilliant drive and took it with ease, and he's just done that with brilliance of ease. So well done to Collarman for winning the race. You got Snoop Dogg Markey, who got second, and then you got and then Steele in the last podium stuff. So that's a great drive from them three, to be fair. Mike, fantastic drive from 11th to 4th. He's my drive of the day. There was some battles going on left, right, and centre, and there was some moves that should not be taking place after the safety car was switched off, and then I found out the safety car was switched on during the qualifying stuff. So that was madness. But yeah, just like I said, it was a great race. It's a good race for some of the guys, but like I said, hopefully some of the guys would return back next week in the next race. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone that's watched the stream. So thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated. I'd like to thank everyone that's listening to me with the banter and with the unbelievable moments on that one. And always remember, always remember, stay classy. I'll see you later, guys. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next week for race 7 at, I can't remember which track, but I'll see you at race 7 at the F3 League. Cheers for that, guys. Much appreciated. Try a bit.